Okay, well, guys, thank you for attending our national monthly webinar. We call it DynaWeb. Everything around here is dynamic, like Dynamark. If anyone wondered, what does Dynamark stand for? That's exactly it. It's dynamic marketing. And that was originally created back in early 1975 as an idea, Dynamark. And since then, of course, we've been in business now for quite a few years, as you can count. I'll be your host today. My name is Hank Groff. I'm the Senior VP of Sales and Business Development over here at Dynamark. We got Jonathan Bird on with us and our special guest, David Graves from One Stop Portal. Before we get started and David gets to share some of his product, which I think you guys will find very valuable to your business, I wanted to share my screen, excuse me, and share with everyone that if you're planning on attending the upcoming, let me just show this here. There we go. If you're planning on attending the upcoming ISC West, which if most of you are not aware, I'll share with you. It's going to be happening the week of April the 9th. So the good news is you've got lots of time to still book your tickets, to book your flights and your hotel rooms, and most importantly, get on dynamark.com, as you can see up here, and register for the party that we're going to be sponsoring. As you'll notice here, it looks like a fantastic party. Most of everything happens at the ISC West Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday, there's going to be a great event. Of course, the show opens up, I believe, at 10 a.m. Wednesday afternoon, if you're an Alarm.com user, you may be able to go to Alarm.com and register for an event that they have. I believe 5 to 7, they have a happy hour party sponsored by Alarm.com. And then on Thursday, Dynamark will be sponsoring a party with many special guests, which we're excited about having join us here. Let me just close it. Oh, can't close it. There we go. Alarm.com and Nortec are diamond level sponsors. El Dorado, Hillcrest Davidson, One Stop Portal, and Security Tracks are gold sponsors, and our silver sponsor, Qualsys. Last year, as you can see, just a couple of pictures, we had an amazing time. I believe we had almost 100 people in the room. This year, we've expanded it to the Tal nightclub and restaurant. And as you can see here, Tal is a pretty exciting venue that's right in the Venetian/Palazzo. So if you have not already registered, go ahead and register now and get your tickets. The best way to do it is go to dynamarkparty.com. You'll fill out a form here, and if you qualify to attend the event, it's going to be fabulous. Full bar. And I guess the most exciting thing, and I'll scroll back up to show you, with a chance to win up to $3,000 in cash money. We give out tickets a number of ways. First of all, if you're a dealer or a partner, you receive a certain number of tickets. If you've gone on and registered for the party, you automatically get tickets. But most importantly, if you schedule to meet with us during that week that we're there, we also give you a bonus chance to get 5 more tickets to put into the bowl to win. We pull out 3 prizes, $500, $1,000, and $1,500, and it is very possible that one person could win it all. So I just wanted you to know that if you win once, it's not like you can't win again. If you have enough tickets in there, increase your chances, and you could win all $3,000. So if you haven't done so already, go on to dynamarkparty.com, right up here. Real simple to do. Put it in and come to our party at Tal Nightclub. We're excited to hopefully have you there. All righty. So moving on, wanted to just I'm going to pass the ball. David, I assume you know these pretty well and how to do these events.
Yeah.
And to go over all of this. Jonathan, remind me again, was there another topic? I wanted to go back because I know that I want to cover all of our topics today. There was a second topic that we did have. Remind me again what I wanted to make sure we didn't forget.
It was the new customer commercial that we had created.
So before we do that, David, I want to leave the best for last, Dave. Although I got to tell you, Jonathan has done a fantastic job on the commercial. If you want to take the ball, Jonathan, and share that, we'd love to have everybody see it. Why don't you explain to everybody a little bit about what you've designed here and and how they can take advantage of it.
Sure. So you can check out the video. You can visit dynamarkmonitoring.com/videos, and we have put together, it's about 40-second commercial, and for our dealers and partners, we're going to make it customizable that you can switch out the name Dynamark with your dealer name if you'd like for just the cost of $50 just for us to offset the cost of the voice narration. Now, I was going to go ahead and play it, Hank, but I'm not sure how the audio will sound over the phone. Do you want me to give it a shot?
That's fine. Yeah, I don't know that it's going to. Give it a shot, and if it sounds a little weird, we'll just everybody go on mute. That'll help out a lot, so we don't get any reverb. If everybody will hit their phones mute, other than Jonathan, let's give it a shot and see how this works.
Yeah, and if the volume.
You never know with Google what they're going to throw in on you, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, it has closed captions, so if the volume's not working too well, you can read along.
Okay, perfect.
Peace of mind could be achieved for the cost of 1 cup of coffee per day. Are you interested? Dynamark offers affordable smart home solutions in a variety of packages that meet your unique needs, so you can get back to doing what you love. Manage your home from your fingertips, check in with loved ones, and know your home is protected by an award-winning central station and lightning-fast operators, no matter where life takes you. Put your trust in Dynamark. We protect America. Visit DynamarkSecurity.com to learn more and to locate a Dynamark dealer in your area.
I can assure you it doesn't just get frozen there, guys, because on our side, Jonathan, it just freezes with Katie and Lamar and Keith, but it is a great video, guys. Get a chance, go to our videos by going to dynamarkmonitoring.com/video. You'll get a chance to watch it yourself. If you like it, as Jonathan just described, and by the way, if you'll scroll down, Jonathan, real quick, show them. There's quite a few other really cool videos that Jonathan had created for us. You can scroll down and see them all there. Videos of our parties, videos of the past, videos of interviews we've done. We'll be constantly enhancing and growing this over time. But this particular video that Jonathan just shared with us is something that our dealers and partners could take advantage of as sort of a promo video snippet for their website. We can even trail end it with your company, where it'll be a small administrative cost to cover the cost for the producing of it, which will be about, I think it's $50 one time. You never have to pay it again, and you'll own that video. So if you do have any questions, Jonathan, how is the best way for them to get a hold of you?
If they just simply email me, Jonathan Bird at dynamarkmonitoring.com, I can get it started for them.
Also, you can go to the Contact Us page on our website, I believe,
sure.
And that's another way to be able to do that as well. Okay, so everybody, a couple more things. I just wanted to share with you one of the most important things that you might be interested in hearing. Jonathan, pass me the ball if you don't mind real quick. I'm going to share everybody just one more item I think they'll find very interesting. For anyone on our call that doesn't use us or we don't work with you, I wanted to share with you something that we're looking for across Dynamark. This is actually a way that we can pay you money, and that would be we're looking for service anchors, what we call anchors, Dynamark anchors or service anchors across the country. And it's because we are developing some new initiatives here at the company, and we are looking for anchors. I'm going to open this up and share with you guys sort of where we're looking for across the country. So this is a cloud map that we use across the U.S., and it shows us as a team where we have our service anchors situated. We have customers, as you guys can see, across the USA. These are with the blue pins, the light blue pins that you'll notice. And then when I turn those off, you'll notice that there's these purple hammers with a surrounding 65-mile radius purple circle. That represents what we believe to be most service anchors' willingness to travel for service. We are looking to grow our service team, and even if you're in that circle, we would be interested in talking to you about hiring you to do either service or new installations of systems, whether they come from a move or some other reason. Our goal is to go ahead and have a circles virtually covering every part of the U.S. where they're what I would consider to be a a reasonable sized population. Some of the smaller areas we probably won't be going into. But if you're in what I would even call an average or a major city or a major town, we'd be interested in talking to you. If you are interested, feel free to contact us by going to the Contact Us page on Dynamark, filling out your information, putting in the notes what you're interested in talking to us about. We do have regional directors across the country. I believe I can show you that right here. We have 3 regional directors who manage the service anchors: Rich Cowan out west, Greg Penninger out in the south, and then Michael Hutcher up in the north. Once we get your lead, we'll go ahead and contact you so that we can talk to you about becoming a service anchor. We do pay what I consider to be very well, and we certainly it'd be a great way for us to get to know one another and perhaps in the future maybe even do additional business. If you are interested, once again, go to the dynamarkmonitoring.com page. Just fill out the Contact Us page. Let us know what you're interested in. We'll be happy to get back with you. Okay. So with that said, we want to pass the ball over to Mr. David Graves. David is president of One Stop Portal. One Stop, I'm going to give you an introduction, David. So One Stop Portal is what I believe to be one of the greatest, coolest CRM management systems for your customers that has been developed in our industry. I respectfully will say that there's a lot of them out there, but this one really, I think, for both the investment that you put into using the license as well as the features that David built with his team, I think are some of the best I've ever seen. He's going to go into it. He'll give you the details on the pricing, and he'll also give you details on how you can get it. You can also go to our website, dynamarkmonitoring.com, and if you go to Premier Providers, in case you forget, One Stop Portal, go to dynamarkmonitoring.com. You go to our Premier Provider page, and you scroll down to One Stop Portal, and there you'll be able to basically click information on his product. If we get the email, we'll forward it to David's team so that they can contact you. And I'm sure that, David, you probably wouldn't mind giving them a one-on-one tutorial if necessary in order to make the investment.
I don't mind at all.
Willing to do that. So without further ado, David Graves with One Stop Portal, why don't you take it away and show them what you got there.
Okay.
And
so anyways,
I
was saying I've always been intrigued by Dynamark's program. I think they have some of the best payouts, certainly some of the best revenue sharing I've ever seen. So I'm very glad to be a part of this with Dynamark. Looking forward to doing some business together. I was also saying that I started out as a dealer, much like yourselves. I ran my own company. And so by doing so, we kind of saw the things that we needed as a company, and we used that to build this thing. So we know what kind of features you need because we've been there. We've been in your shoes. We call it One Stop Portal, the simple, powerful, affordable alarm CRM, because it's simple to use. It's very user-friendly. It's powerful because this thing is packed full of features. You won't believe it. And it's affordable. I know that you're used to other CRMs maybe costing $200, $300, $400, $500 a month, and we don't have an aggressive sales team, and therefore we're able to keep it affordable. We have plans that start as low as $75 a month, and with how many features we have, you'll find that's actually a very, very cheap rate. So we're committed to bringing you the best bang for your buck alarm CRM. I'll just dive in here. So One Stop Portal is a one-stop shop for everything your alarm company needs, from running credit to billing customers, storing docs on the cloud, scheduling and dispatching techs, to registering cell units, to managing inventory, to importing zone lists from alarm.com or AlarmNet or SecureNet right into the portal so you don't have to type them in, to placing accounts in test mode, verifying alarm history, activating accounts with Central Station, even e-signatures via DocuSign, or we have our own built-in e-signature client for your in-house accounts, to creating install certificates for customers, managing service calls, managing and calculating payroll, running several different kinds of reports. One Stop Portal has the features you need to run your alarm company from day to day. Other CRMs allow you to manage just your in-house accounts or just your sell-off accounts. Let me kind of explain what I'm saying there. When you use another CRM, they don't actually have a field for funding source. They just have it for Central Station. So when they assign you a block of CSIDs or Central Station IDs, you can really only load that one into your CRM. we differentiate those so that you have control over all your accounts in one place, whether it's your in-house accounts or your sell-off to Dynamark, or if you have accounts financed through security equity partners or what have you. You manage it all in one place, and you keep control of those. So let me just dive in and show you some of our features. There are so many features it would take an hour or two to show them all to you. I'm just going to stick with the very basics. So when you run a credit, I'll use kind of a small screenshot of part of the screen of what it would look like. When you run a credit, you tell it the funding source. So I'm going to tell it the funding source is Dynamark. That means when I select the credit bureau and click Run Credit, it's going to run that credit in Dynamark's system instead of using your own. So you can actually integrate your own credit bureaus and your Dynamark one so that it runs it with different accounts, keeping everything in line for you. So I'd put in the first name, last name, basically everything in yellow, and then I tell the credit bureau, the funding source, and then I click Run Credit, and it will run the credit, give me back the report, and create the account for me. Very simple.
Let me interject, Dave, because that's a great point. He and I talk, Dave and I will go back a little bit and make this a little more exciting. One of the things, guys, you got to understand, over at Dynamark, we're unique as a company. We do not only work with companies who want to use us for funding. While we do have a funding program, we are also primarily a central station. And one of the programs we make available to independent alarm companies is if you want to get a loan on your paper or on your contracts to a company called SEP. What's really cool about his CRM, David reminded me, is that SEP can be actually built as a down menu on here as well. So if you're pulling their credit versus funding through Dynamark, or in this case, if you were both a Dynamark funding partner with us, or you wanted to keep the account, you have an option which one you can pull. Is that correct, Dave?
Yeah, it's very intelligent. What it'll do is it knows by the funding source which account to run credit in. So if you put the funding source as security equity partners, it's going to run the credit in their system and return to you the security equity partner's credit score. Or if I put in Dynamark, it'll use that. Or if I do in-house, it will use mine.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
That's huge. That's a big plus for a lot of guys out there, because a lot of times you know this, Dave, a lot of companies, if the funding program is the only source they have. They don't have a program like Dynamark where they'll let you sell and let you keep. And here we let you keep. And if you want to go get a loan, you can get a loan. So we have a lot of options for you.
Yeah, and I think the days of having one funding source are over. You want to have in-house, you want to have a funding source as well. Now, Dynamark is as good a funding source as they come, but you also want to keep some revenue for yourself so that you don't have to always make sales numbers to stay in business. You want to keep revenue for yourself too, so that you have some security, and we're the ones that facilitate that better than anybody. So anyways, I'll go back into this. So after you've created the customer, there's a few other things you do, and then you come in here if you want to bill your customers. We have a couple options. You can bill your customers a one-time fee, for equipment or activation fee or what have you. You basically put in the information, whether it be ACH or credit card. You put in the RMR, and then you push a button that says one-time charge, and it'll pop up a little window here like this on the right-hand side. You tell it I want to bill, say, $99.99, bill today, description, activation fee, and then execute, and it will drop the money out of the customer's bank account or credit card and into your bank account. Now, we're integrated with a couple of merchant accounts. We're integrated with NMI, which is the one that most people in the industry use, like Platinum Payment Systems. They're on the NMI platform. Another one that's very popular is Authorize.net. So we can facilitate either one of those two, and we're even working on some other merchant accounts so that whoever you use, we can provide that integration for you. The other option is to do a recurring billing. So there's another button that says recurring billing. For that one, I would put in $39.99 a month, tell it what day of the month to bill, and then I would tell it execute, and it will create a billing subscription to charge the customer every month. So that's really good for your in-house accounts.
Let me also interject, Dave. One of the benefits we have over here as a company, and I don't know if we're going to have to do some integration with you, but and I assume it's not necessary. For some of the guys here, what they may not be aware is over here, if some dealers prefer not to do their own billing. They just say, hey, I want you to wholesale monitor my account, but I just don't like billing. I don't want to deal with it. It's a headache. We have an option over here where we can do the billing for them and even collections up to a certain period of time. So I just wanted to mention that.
So that's a great idea. So what we have funding sources. We have Dynamark. We have in-house. What I'll do for you guys, I'll create a new funding source called Dynamark. I don't know what we'll call it. Dynamark billing maybe. And when we use that funding source, we'll integrate with Dynamark's account there for their merchant account. And when you do this, it'll create a billing subscription in their service. So you don't have to go through jumping hoops or anything. You just say,
perfect.
The funding source is Dynamark sell-off. We'll have a button that'll push it into their system, and then they'll bill for you.
There you go.
So I'm willing to do that, and it won't be hard.
Okay.
Another thing we do is dispatching technicians. With other CRMs, you can do that. You can dispatch a tech. You can send a text message to the technician's phone, but generally speaking, it's done as a pre-formatted text. It'll have, like, the information here. It'll say new install for this person, the phone number, the address, and the date that it's going in. But we give you the ability to add other things in there. So you can add custom stuff, like, for example, installing a 2-gig GC3 panel, 6 doors of smoke, 2 motions, and a key fob. And then maybe please remove your shoes. They have new carpet. Whatever you want to send over to the tech, you just add that here to the additional notes for the tech, and then send either an MMS where it sends a text message over to the technician's phone, or you can send it as an email. Either way, they'll get it to their phone. We also have some new features that we just released in the last couple of weeks where you can map out the technician's map for the day. That's coming out here in the next couple of weeks where you click a map and it'll show you a map. Okay, they start at their home, then they go here, 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 and here. And I'll get into that here in a minute. But it's very good for dispatching technicians to where they need to go. Now, this is one of the coolest features of our CRM is the intelligent tech scheduler. I think you'll find our scheduler is far more advanced than the other alarm CRMs. So, for example, I can put in, that's where the black comes from, is I say, these hours I'm unavailable. So, obviously, all of your technicians are going to want to say, I'm unavailable from midnight to, 8 or 9 in the morning, for example. So that blacks that out. Technicians can set that themselves. Then, over here to the right, you've got the actual scheduled events. So, for example, Reba McIntyre is scheduled from 2 to 5. Or 2:30 to 5, sorry. So she's scheduled there, Walter White here, Homer Simpson. Now, you notice they have different colors associated with them and numbers off to the side. This is integrated with Google Maps and Google Distance Matrix through APIs. So basically, when I come in and I say, I want to schedule this customer for an install, it pops up the scheduler, and I can see I probably don't want to schedule it for Billy Bob at 5 o'clock because from 2:30 to 4 p.m. or to 5 p.m., he's going to be 1 hour and 54 minutes away. I'm going to look for something closer to this. Tyrone Biggums is only 9 minutes away. So I'm going to tell the customer, let's schedule you for 5:30, and let's schedule you for Rick James being the technician because he's right there close by. So it color codes it. Green means they're really close. Yellow means they're pretty close. Yellow-green means they're a little far away. Red means they're really too far away to schedule it. And they don't even show up on here if they're more than 3 hours away. So anyways, it filters down. It helps you know when to schedule a customer based on how far away the tech is. This is a piece that I'm sure you've all heard of Alliance Security. They're like the biggest dealer in the country. They use this piece. They're actually dealers of One Stop Portal. They use this piece because it replaced the piece they use that made them so big that really helped help their company become so popular. So our piece is even better than what they had, and now they're using this. Now, over here to the left, it's even more intelligent. You tell the system, for each technician, you say, okay, these are the control panels that this technician knows how to install. These are the panels he doesn't know how to install. And so red over here means they don't know how to install it. Green means they do. So, for example, if I wanted to come over here to Homer Simpson and I'm saying, well, it's only 30 minutes away, let's maybe schedule it here. Hold up, let's go over to the left. That technician is in red. He doesn't even know how to install this control panel. Maybe I shouldn't schedule it for him. Oh, look, Rick James is in green. He knows how to install it, and he's going to be close at 5 p.m. That's where I want to put my install, is at 5:30 p.m. right there for that technician. I hope that makes sense, but it would be a little bit of a learning curve to use this. Maybe a couple of days it might be confusing, but once you get going on it, I promise you it'll save you so much time and effort, and it will make you a more proficient company. So that's
Dave, I think what you built here is phenomenal, man. I got to tell you, it could save people time and money, and best of all, I mean, who wouldn't want to have Rick James show up and install a system?
Yeah,
you know
I'm Rick James, B.
yeah.
So anyway, yeah, this is on our demo site where everybody's from TV characters.
I also want to point out to everybody who's listening, you do not have to be a DynaMark dealer or partner to use this. The point of David showing up is, while he is a premier provider of ours, he's showing you that you can be with any program. I don't care if you're ADT, Monotronics, Vector, Guardian. There are some key advantages because of integration that he has with us. However, you can use this product no matter who you're with. So I just want you guys to be aware of that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Hank. Appreciate that. There's one more cool piece about this scheduler. So with other CRMs, if I wanted to take Reba McEntire, and let's say the customer calls in and says, I want to do it at 10 a.m., so I'm going to, and Joey Shabadoo, the technician, is available at 10 a.m., I would have to click on this and then change the technician, change the time, and then it would move it over. With our scheduler, I would simply grab this, just click on it, and drag it over to that technician at that time. So that saves you a lot of time. It's drag and drops. You just grab it and move it over to which technician and which time, and it just moves the event. So it's very, very user-friendly and very powerful. This scheduler is, I can't tell you how much time and effort we put into this to make this a good thing for you. But anyways, moving along. Registering cell units. You're going to love this because I know that with the funding program, you guys use alarm.com. So it's this simple. For monitor type, I'm going to tell it the plan. So, for example, anything starts with ADC is alarm.com. So I tell it the plan, alarm.com interactive gold with two-way, or just interactive gold without two-way, whichever one you want. And then with that, I can assign CSIDs. So it tracks your central station account numbers, like I was saying before, and it divvies these out based on your funding source. So like I said, with other CRMs, you can only do one profile. So, for example, if I wanted to have all of my account numbers managed, what I'd have to do is I'd have to put them in here and say assign CSID. But then the problem with that is that it's going to have one block of CSIDs for the whole central station. Well, DynaMark, as well as every other central station out there, will give you different account numbers based on whether it's purchase account or if it's an in-house account or a finance account, because they bill it to different places. And so with us, you set that up. You say, okay, for this funding source and this central station, these are my CSIDs, and then with this other one, and so on. And so when you click the Assign CSID button, it spits out the next CSID, and it's correct based on that. So you don't have to go through the pain in the neck of calling into the central station and saying, okay, I'm having this one be purchased now. Can you please have this account number moved over to this other profile? It's just done. You just go on with your life. Now, these buttons say remove CSID and purge CSID. That's because there's already one in there. If there wasn't already one in there, then there would be a button right here that says assign CSID. So you don't have to track those via paper or Google Docs anymore. You just click assign CSID, and it puts that in, and it puts in the receiver phone number for you. So then all you have to do after that is type in the serial number from the cell unit, or the ADC number, or IMEI, or what have you, and then you select the add-ons. By clicking Modify Add-ons, it pops up a thing. I tell it the add-ons, and it lists them here. And then I'm ready to just create it in alarm.com. It's got everything else it needs, so I click Create in alarm.com, and it creates it, and it puts the customer ID here. Now, here's another beautiful thing about One Stop Portal. We're not just married to alarm.com. Alarm.com is a great cellular provider. However, there are others that are really great too. SecureNet, where there's only 2 alarm CRMs that are integrated with SecureNet. We were the first ones to integrate with them. So it would look basically the same as this, only there'd be one more field for the SecureNet plan, and then you can click a button here that would say Create in SN for SecureNet, and then it will create the SecureNet account. Another thing we're integrated with, and we're the only ones integrated with, is AlarmNet. Now, I know that the funding program for for Dynamark doesn't really do anything with AlarmNet, but if you have in-house accounts and you want to use Honeywell equipment, before we came along, you were kind of left out in the cold, which is kind of crazy because if you ask me, with my 17 years of alarm experience, most of it as an installer or a lead installer or regional installer, I can tell you Honeywell is the bulletproof alarm system. If you want to use it, it's a great thing, but you were left out in the cold for integration. Not anymore. You tell it the plan, you assign the CSID, you put in the MAC address and the CRC. It assigns the city and CS code. You tell the supervision, communicator template, master code, desired username, program radio, and it's done. So it saves you a lot of time when you're activating AlarmNet radios. Then once you got the panel powered up, you click Send 3X Tamper, and it registers it with AlarmNet, and you're ready to install it. So that saves you a lot of time and effort, and still allows you to use whatever alarm system you want to, whether it be Honeywell or any of the ones that you use, Alarm.com and SecureNet. We can facilitate all of that. Inventory management. This is a thing. When I ran my security business, I found that technicians just didn't manage their inventory because it was too big of a pain in the neck. You'd have all of your sensors or all of your pieces of equipment in one drop down. So you'd have to scroll through a drop down, say, I want to click on this piece of equipment. And then I'd say, installed 3 of it. And then I would say, insert. And then it would insert it and bring up another one. And I'd have to go through that for each one of these things. With this, it pulls it up in a grid view. Now, since this was a Lynx 5200 that I had selected for this customer, it only brings up the Honeywell equipment. If it was a Simon XTI, then it would only bring up the General Electric equipment, and so on. Now, I can come over here to more brands and select other brands for it to bring up, but 99 times out of 100, you don't want to see, DSC equipment when the panel is a Lynx, for example. So you can always add those in if you need to, but by default, it's only going to show you what's relevant to the alarm panel that you're using, which is big because it saves technicians time. Another thing is, by default, it only shows what's in stock. So if the technician doesn't have any carbons in stock, for example, it wouldn't show those. But I clicked when you click the display in stock items only, if you uncheck that, then it will show everything. So all you do is with the sales rep's going to come in here and say, I offered a panel, a carbon, 5 doors, 2 key fobs, a medical, 2 motions, and a smoke. Now the technician, when he logs in, he knows what to install. So he puts in what he installed. Now, if these 2 don't match up, there's going to be a report generated that's sent to the sales rep and technician saying, hey, this doesn't match up. You need to get this fixed. Either the rep needs to go change what's offered, or the technician's going to be responsible for what he installed that he didn't have permission to install. In this case, it was just a 12-volt transformer, for example, so they might just let it slide. Now, when the technician gets there and he puts in what he installed, and by the way, technicians don't have access to this column and reps don't have access to this column for security purposes, but when the technician comes in and puts in what he installed, and it only takes 10 seconds. When I said that technicians just weren't using it because it was too big a pain in the neck, this takes 10 seconds. You say, I installed 1 of this, 1 of this, 1 of this, 5 of this, 2, 1, 2, 1, done. It takes 10 to 15 seconds to track your inventory because it's all just in a grid view and you don't have to refresh the screen between each piece of equipment. So it's very quick and easy, and then it's going to take that equipment out of the technician's truck and put it into the customer's inventory, and it manages inventory. Another thing that only we do that nobody else does, just because I was a technician for 10 years and a manager for another 8, I made install manuals and cheat sheets for almost every piece of equipment that we installed. So if you need to get a cheat sheet on how to install a Lynx 5200, you come click on this link, and it brings up a cheat sheet. Or if you want the full install manual, click on this, and you got the install manual right there at your fingertips. We don't have this for every piece of equipment, but we have it for a lot of pieces of equipment. That's going to help technicians in the field to have the tools they need. Moving along, zone lists. I remember typing in zone lists when I don't want to use names, but there was a CRM that we used when I ran my company, and I would have to insert each zone and tell it that it's burglary, insert, then go to the next one. And it's refreshing the screen between each one. Trying to do it from a cell phone, it took me 5 minutes to just put in the zone list. But now, like I say, it's in a grid view, and it knows how many zones to put in based on the control panel. So if it's a Moose Z900, it'll only put out 6 zones and stop. If it's a 2 gig, it'll spit out, I think it's 65 zones and stop. So that makes it easy. You just type them in. Furthermore, we go even one step further. There's a button up above this that says Get Zones. Now, if you've already used the portal to create the Alarm.com or SecureNet or AlarmNet account, then you click that button and it will type the zone list in there for you. So instead of spending 5 minutes typing in a zone list, you click a button and 2 seconds later, the zone list is populated for you. We were the first ones to do that. We're one of only 2 CRMs that do that today. It saves you a lot of time and effort. Verifying signals and placing in test mode. This was something that used to be only us. A couple other CRMs have copied us and started doing this since then, but this is something that we started with, and we're one of the only CRMs that do it. Before we came along, you would have to have your CRM, but then you'd have to go to another website, in your case, BoldNet, to verify alarm history, because you have to do that on every alarm install. You have to say, okay, let's make sure they got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the panics, and then you come back to your CRM. With us, it's all in one place. You go to the signals, you click display, and it shows you everything right here. This is also good for down the road when a customer calls in saying, hey, there's a problem with my alarm system. You can look at it and say, okay, looks like zone 5 had a trouble. So you help them troubleshoot, or you know what to send with the technician to fix it. So this will help you run your business. And then even furthermore, let's say the customer calls in and you need to go do a service call. So the technician gets there and he says, okay, I'm going to be working on this for about 2 hours. So place account on test for 120 minutes, clicks the place in test button, and the account's in test. You don't have to call into Central Station or go to BoldNet to put the account on test. It's right from your CRM. So that'll save you some time and effort. Then activating accounts with Central Station. I'll be honest, this is something that all the CRMs do, but I want you to know we also do it. You bring up the page, you say request activation, and it brings up a thing saying, okay, here's the for the police, fire, medical numbers. Now, if you know them, you type them in and execute. If you don't know them, you don't have to put them in, because you click execute and it's going to go push that into BoldNet, and it's going to try and find the police, fire, and medical numbers from the actual system. And if it can't find them, then it just sends it off to Dynamark and they'll put it in for you. But it just saves you time and effort. You know, it's something where with the other CRMs you have to put in those numbers. With us, you usually don't have to put those in, and it'll just take care of it for you. But like I say, that's a feature that almost all the CRMs have, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. E-signatures. I think there are only 2 CRMs that I know of, at least, that are integrated with DocuSign for the alarm industry. That's SecurityTrax and us. Now, SecurityTrax is such a great CRM. I have nothing but respect for them. They're the ones that have all these features as well as us. They're so great. So between them and us, you can get a great system, whichever one you go with. The only real big difference between us is the price. So you pull up the contract, you tell it, you say, okay, here's the contract I want to sign, and you click sign. You can either send it to the customer via email, where it sends to the technician or sales rep first, then they sign, and then it goes over to the customer to sign, and then it's completed. Or you can do sign locally, where it'll pop it up right there on your screen. You have the sales rep sign it, close it down, and then open it up again for the customer, and they sign it, and then it's done. You have both options. And now with that, it's going to put in, if you remember back on the inventory screen, I told it what the sales rep offered, and that's going to show up here on the e-signature. It's going to say, okay, quantity, they did 1 Skybell doorbell camera and 1 3G cell unit for 2 gig. So it's going to come over here to the left and tell you all the equipment that you're offering. So that's on the contract. Then it has the zone list over here to the right and which zone number it is. It has all the information that you put into the CRM, just pushes into the e-signature. So all you have to do is click the button, sign for the customer, done, and then it sends a copy over to the customer, sends a copy to your company owner, and sends a copy over to Dynamark so that they can get going on funding you. So that's a big feature right there. You want to have e-signatures. Those days of carrying around paperwork in your pocket and having bad handwriting and sometimes having your funding held up because they couldn't read the chicken scratch handwriting from the sales rep, those days are over. You just do it all digitally, and it's easier to get funded on time through that. We have so many other features. It would take me over an hour to show you. For example, we've got, where you put in the inventory. We have payroll calculations. It's got one of the most robust payroll calculation programs out there. It gives you many different variables. Service call tracking. It's got a very big service call tracking feature where you not only track your service calls, but you can also, put in there everything that the technician needs. For example, you can verify alarm signals and change the equipment, change the zone list right from the service call tracking feature. We have extensive reporting features, lots of different reports you can run that you'll find will really help your company. The list goes on, but I just wanted to keep this brief and show you the stuff that's relevant to you, just the most relevant things. And that's the gist of the one-stop portal. It's a very powerful CRM at a fraction of the cost of the other guys. And the reason for that is the other guys have a very big sales force, a very aggressive sales force. And we made our minds up early on that we're not going to hire salesmen, because when you hire salesmen, you know how it is. The salesmen want all the money, and they want everyone else to make no money. So with us, we can keep it affordable, and we just go by word of mouth and then webinars like this, so we keep it very affordable for you. So we'll give you the tools you need at a fraction of the cost. It's a win-win-win for everybody. This time, I guess, Hank, should we open it up for questions? If anybody has any questions, I'm sure there's some.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea. Jonathan, if you can unmute everybody. Everyone, if you're going to, he's going to unmute. If you're going to want to ask a question, the rest of you, please be quiet so that question can be heard. And then Jonathan, and if you want to just say your name, first name's fine before you start. Does anybody have any questions for David on this product? Any questions out there at all?
Yes, my name is.
No questions.
What is the cost per client using this CRM tool?
Good question.
Very good
David,
question.
I don't know if you heard it. He said, he said, what's the cost per client?
All right, so I'm going to go to our website here. I'm going to go to plans. Oops, that's not pulling it up. Something wrong with my browser. Okay, so like I said, we have plans starting at $75 a month. So it all depends on how many customers you do. I don't care how many sales reps and technicians you put in. I'm not going to raise your price for that. That's kind of a game the other guys play. I don't do that. I just say if you do between 0 and 45 customers a month, then it's $75 a month. And I don't care how many customers you already have in the system. So you could have 1,000 customers in the system, and it's still only going to be $75 a month, so long as that's how many customers you put in monthly. We have another plan, Bronze, for $115 a month. That's anywhere between 45 and 99 customers. If you do between 100 and 300 customers, it's $180 a month. And we also have a Gold plan, which includes up to 500 new accounts per month, and that's $360 a month. Now, for you big dealers out there, this is where it's going to get really amazing. We offer a new plan called Platinum, which allows dealers to set up the portal on their own servers with their own URL, with their own logo, so they can tell their employees they built the thing. Because it doesn't use our servers, and it's using up your own servers, I don't care how many customers you put on. You could put in 10,000 a month, and there's no price jump because it's using up your server resources, not ours. Now, that price, it says, is $900 a month. We've recently dropped that to $600 a month. So with our biggest competitor, which is Security Tracks, which, like I say, is a very good CRM, their plans start, I believe, at $400 a month if you want all the features. So for only $200 more than that, you could have unlimited. So for you big dealers, that's going to save you hundreds to maybe $1,000 a month right there. And you get to white label it. So $600 a month for unlimited. You'll find these prices are very good for how much you're getting. It's the prices of Feel Quick with the features of security tracks. Get the best of both worlds.
What's defined as a customer? Because, you know, a customer and each person's world is slightly different, whether they were bought or not bought or somebody with interest. What's a customer?
You know something? I'm probably going to regret saying this out loud, but we're on an on-your-honor system, to be honest with you. You tell me how many accounts you're going to put in, and we put you on that plan. And we just expect you to call in and be honest with us when you up your amounts. And we do audits, so if we catch you, then we do say, hey, we need you to up your bill. But for the most part, it's just on an on-your-honor system. So I'll leave that up to you. If you say, hey, I just put in a lead, and I don't think that should count as a customer, well, then, yeah, don't count it as a customer. Just be honest with us.
All right. That's fair enough. Did that answer your question?
That we got?
Yes, sir, it did. Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions out there? What it could or couldn't do?
I wasn't able to watch this seminar on my computer because I'm mobile. Is there a place where I can go and I guess play around with it, like a tutorial or a?
You want to play around with it? Okay, so I'm always willing to give you guys tutorials. If you email me at info@onestopportal.com, I can give you a tutorial and show you what you want. But if you want to get in and play around with this, you go to log in. You go to onestopportal.com, click log in. You can either go to our stable site or beta. It's just whenever we get new changes, we put them on the beta site first to make sure there's no bugs. So you go there and you log in with the username demo and log in with the password of demo123. Oops, I clicked on something. You log in with the username demo, password demo123, and then when you log in, that takes you to our just demo site. You can play around with this and you won't mess anything up. If you'll notice that the dealer is Vandalay Industries, which we all know is not a real company. It's made up by George Costanza. Walter White is not a real person. He's just an empire. You know, you can play around with this. You can do everything from this, but it won't mess anything up. So play around with it. See if you like it. If you don't like the fill, go somewhere else. If you do like it, give us a call and set up.
Let me also share something, David. I would say we have, ladies and gentlemen on the call, we have about 550 dealers nationwide and partners, combination of dealers and partners. In our world, a dealer is someone who uses us for monitoring. A partner is someone who sells us accounts. But there are partners of ours, not necessarily dealers, but partners who use One Stop Portal and love it. I just want to tell you that they love their products so much so that if you go to our Premier Provider site, which why don't you go ahead and I'm going to end it and see if I can take the ball back. I don't know if I can do it. Jonathan, can you hand me that ball over to one time? I'll share this, that we let's see here if I can find it. Yep, right here. If you guys go to our website, dynamarkmonitoring.com, and you go to the Premier Provider site, they are officially, as I mentioned earlier, One Stop Portal is officially one of our premier providers. You'll notice also that Security Tracks was too, and they were for a very long time. But what we kept hearing from dealers across the country and partners is we want Security Tracks. We want One Stop Portal. And so it's one of those rare cases where we typically will only have one of each category or one of each product type. But in this case, we have one platform, one collections, but in this case, we have two CRMs, and it's because people do love One Stop Portal. They love their products. They love the technology. I think these are both good products, and I think they can apply for different scenarios, but I will say that people do love David's product.
Thank you, Hank. I appreciate that. That's really nice of me to say that.
And gentlemen, I will say, if you guys want to watch this ever in the future, go to dynamarkmonitoring.com to the Premier Provider log page. And right here where this says DynaWeb, Jonathan will be creating this into a presentation, and he'll have one of these little logos down here. So right underneath the one-stop portal, if you'll click that, probably give us a couple days, you'll be able to watch this presentation again. He also has a little promo video here, and of course you can always click his logo to go right to one-stop portal. But I would encourage everyone on the call to contact David either through our website, and we'll get your information to David, or email him directly, as he said, info@onestopportal.com. Is that the number one, or is that ONE?
ONE, it's all spelled out, yeah.
onestopportal.com, and contact him, and he can give you a tutorial, because that way he can really show you the power of it. Does anybody else have questions for Dave? Hopefully this has been valuable for you guys. We'll be finish the recording, and we'll put this up on, as I said, on the site. Certainly encourage you guys to go through his free one-on-one tutorial to show you. We think it's a valuable tool and help your business, whether you're with us or not. And if you want more information on Dynamark services, what we can do for you, go to dynamarkmonitoring.com, contact us. You can fill out any of the pages, have a contact information sheet. Just put your information in. We'll get one of our regional team members to contact you. Dave, thanks again for being here, taking time out.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, Hank.
Absolutely. And we look forward to seeing everybody, hopefully in Vegas. Come to our party and go to dynamarkparty.com to register for the party. Have a great week, guys. Hope to see you in April. Bye-bye.